I can tune any piano. It's not a piano. Don't you want it tuned to A equals 440 hertz? Hello, Augies Worldwide. I'm Dave Casler, amateur radio call sign KE0OG. And we're looking at another product from GOOZEEZOO. Okay, it's a Chinese company that tends to make things that are open source, and it'll put the hardware together for you to go along with whatever software you might get. And I've reviewed a number of the things that they've put together, including a end-fed half-wave antenna for 10 through 80 meters, which happens to be the one I've got up right now. And another thing they sent was this ATU-100. Now, this is a antenna tuner, automatic antenna tuner. It comes like this in the box. The only other thing that comes with it is a power cord. This particular power cord's really hard to get into this thing right here. You see how that has the thick middle thing rather than the thin one you see in some of them? You've got to use a little bit of force to get that through. What you have on the front, an on-off switch, okay? Reset, tune. You push the button to cause it to reset and tune, a little display that will tell you what the SWR is, and so on. And then on the back, there's this little button right here. And it's just a button. You push it and it toggles between automatic and manual. If you've got it on manual, you need to push this button to tune. But of course, you need to be transmitting something for that button to tune right there. Those are the only controls on it. You can't do like on an MFJ where you can tweak it a little bit. You've got this goes to the transmitter, this goes to the antenna, or you can connect a long wire to here, and this can go to ground. Okay? And I would recommend in a permanent setup that it have its own ground. Runs on 12 volts, your normal 12 volt supply. The original guy who put this together is N7DDC. Okay, and that's the place that you would go to look for more types of information on it. Okay, now, so what they've done is take this open source thing and made something for you. Now, I ran into problems with this thing with an intermittent, and what I discovered on this end was that this plug right here, which is the transmitter coming in from the transmitter, it comes down to the circuit board. Now, I had my suspicions about that solder joint. So I used a solder sucker to pull as much of the solder off of there as I could, and then I resoldered that connection, and it seemed to work much more stably after that. But you can see what's inside here. It's just different relays to relay in different values of capacitance. You see several different coils that it can relay in order or in combination, whatever it wants to do. There's a little microprocessor there. And then the front has the buttons and stuff with a little display unit. This slides out of the case fairly easily. You just take these corner screws out. I think they're 2.5 millimeter. The tops just simply come off, okay? And now it's soldered here to all of these, so you won't want to separate that from the circuit board, but this thing just folds down so you can see everything that's going on inside. I mean, the construction seemed to me to be adequate, and it's certainly sturdy. But again, once I had resoldered that particular thing right there, I opened it because it was intermittent, and that seemed to have solved the intermittency problem. So just here's a close-up of the circuit board here that's used for the display, OLED display, and this plugs in here for that. It's 2 lines on a very small little display. Does it work? The answer is, as far as I can tell, it does, but I don't think it matches real high levels. There's something in the instructions that seem to indicate that it will work up to about a 7:1 SWR ratio. I tried some experiments using my step IR, big IR antenna and deliberately mistuning it and see if the thing would go to it. And that's where I discovered the intermittency, because sometimes it would, sometimes it wouldn't. Now, after fixing the intermittency, I discovered that I could get it to work in quite a variety of ways. What I need to do is develop some sort of an antenna simulator so I can throw in as much capacitance or inductance as I want, make it appear to be anything from like a 10 ohm to 100 ohm or 500 ohm or whatever, so that I can see how it works. If any of you got any ideas on that, I'd sure be interested in knowing about them. That'll help me test these antenna tuners a little bit better. The Step IR never seemed to get that far out of tune, so I wasn't able to demonstrate the limits on this tuner. Now, this is not terribly expensive, and you can go to the GOOZEEZOO website or get it off of Amazon. If you get the one off of Amazon, make sure you sort through them because there will be a number of them. Get one because a lot of the Chinese companies shipped a lot of stuff to the U.S. before the tariffs, so that way you can get one with the tariff. So there you have it. I want to tell you a little bit about our special. If you join as a patron, or if you're already a patron, you up your level, we will send you a $2 bill. This is the lowest level on Patreon that we have, is the $2 level. I'll send you your first month back to you in the form of a $2 bill. And if you up your level, like from $5 to $10, or if you do that on PayPal or on your channel membership or something like that, we will send you this $2 bill. They're real. You can actually spend them. Although I'll tell you what, I think a lot of people in the U.S. have never seen one. But there you are. There you have it. Till we next meet, 73.